What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video of Wildcard Sports. In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the NFC East. We're going to go over the best case scenario record that the team can get and the worst case scenario record that the team can get. We're going to go over the Eagles, Giants, Commanders, and Cowboys in the NFC East. If you missed the last video is the NFC West, and then future videos, we're going to do all the divisions. So subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for your team. If it's coming up, then I'll make a video of it. So here we're going to go start with the Eagles, and they should have a winning record, but we're going to go over best case scenario for them right now. They start off the season with a really good game against the Packers. Can't wait for that one. Let's just say they win that one. That could be a loss for worst case scenario. Let's say they win, beat the Eagles, or beat the Falcons 2, beat the Saints 3-0. Bucks, I say they upset them there. So far 3 wins. Beat the Browns 4. Beat the Giants 5 wins. Lose against the Bengals. Beat the Jaguars 6. Lose against the Cowboys in Dallas. Beat the Commanders 7. Beat the Rams 8. Lose against the Ravens. Beat the Panthers 9. Beat the Steelers 10. Lose against the Commanders. Beat the Cowboys, that's 11. Beat the Giants, that's 12. So best case scenario, I have the Eagles going 12-5. I think that's pretty doable for the Eagles, but they have to have a pretty good season. 5 losses, that's a playoff spot right there. At worst, though, let's go over at worst case scenario. Sure, you can say, oh, they could lose all their games, but that's not going to happen for the Eagles this year. Let's say they lose against the Packers. First game of the season, Packers upset them. Hopefully Jordan Love plays, because I know he's been sitting out. Contract disputes, but Packers win, so it's a loss. Beat the Falcons. They should beat the Saints. So that's 2 wins. Lose against the Bucks. Beat the Browns. So 3 wins. Beat the Giants 4. Lose against the Bengals. Beat the Jags 5. Let's say they lose against the Cowboys. Let's say they lose against the Commanders at home. So that's another loss. Let's say they beat the Rams 6. Lose against the Ravens. Beat the Panthers 7. Beat the Steelers 8. Lose against the Commanders. Let's say they lose against the Cowboys at home, and then beat the Giants. So 9 wins, worst case scenario. I see the Eagles going 9-8 for worst case scenario. What do you guys think about the Eagles prediction? And just so you guys don't go crazy, this is worst case scenario. If you think they're going to do worse than 9-8, let me know. I'm actually very curious on that. But I see them going around 12-5, maybe 11-6. Just don't see them getting those 13 plus wins this season. Moving on to the Commanders. They, had a great offseason. They're going to be a stronger team than last year for sure. But let's try to go over best case scenario for the Commanders. I do think they lose. They don't play Dolphins beginning. They play the Bucks beginning of the season. They could lose that one just because it's on the road. First game on the road. Bucks, Baker Mayfield trying to prove, his worth to the Bucks. Commanders definitely could win that. So let's go best case scenario. They win that one. Beat the Giants, so that's 2. Lose against the Bengals. Beat the Cardinals 3. Beat the Browns 4. Lose against the Ravens. Beat the Panthers 5. Beat the Bears 6. Beat the Giants again, beat the Giants again 7. Beat the Steelers 8. Lose against the Eagles. Beat the Cowboys 9. Beat the Titans 10. Lose against the Saints. Beat the Eagles 11. And then beat the Falcons 12. And then lose against the Cowboys. So, yeah, just like the Eagles, I think Commanders could have a great season and go 12-5. Best case scenario. Oh, whoops. I think that's pretty good. If Commanders could go 12-5 this year, solid season. They should make the playoffs with that. I mean, they will make the playoffs with that. Worst case scenario for the Commanders. Let's go look at it here. Let's see. Okay, Bucks lose against the Bucks, beat the Giants, so that's 1 win. Lose against the Bengals, beat the Cardinals 2, beat the Browns 3. Lose against the Ravens, beat the Panthers 4, beat the Bears 5, beat the Giants. Or no, let's say they lose against the Giants there, so still 4. Let's say they lose against the Steelers, still 4. Lose against the Eagles 4, beat the Cowboys 5, beat the Titans 6. Lose against the Saints, so we're still at 6. Beat the Eagles at home 7. Beat the Falcons at home 8, and then probably lose against the Cowboys. So worst case scenario, still not a terrible season, but just a so-so season. They go 8-9. Jeez, 8-9. So almost a 500 record, but worst case 8-9. I think that's still, decent. They're on the up road trajectory there, but I think Commander fans are probably hoping to get at least 10 wins this season, and I think that would be a win in their book if they get at least 10 wins and make the playoffs. Let me know if you agree with that Commanders prediction. All right, moving on to the New York Giants. I mean, they're probably going to get last in the division, I'm going to say, but let's go over best case scenario for the Giants. Let's say they beat the Vikings 1, lose against the Commanders, lose against the Browns. Let's say they beat the Cowboys at home, so that's 2. Lose against the Seahawks. Don't think they're going to beat the Bengals. Let's say they beat the Eagles. That's 3 wins. Let's see, 3. Lose against the Steelers. See how they beat the Commanders. That's 4. Lose against the Panthers. Well, let's just say they beat the Panthers there. 5 wins. Let's say they beat the Bucks 6. Lose against the Cowboys. Let's say they beat the Saints 7. Lose against the Ravens. Lose against the Falcons. Beat the Colts 8. And lose against the Eagles. So, yeah, it's hard for me. The best I can give the Giants 8 wins. That's best case scenario for me. What's your guys' best case scenario for the Giants? Post it in the comments. All right, worst case scenario. This could be bad, but let's see. We'll just go over some wins here. They could lose. I'll give them 1 win going into October. Let's see. They beat the Commanders at home 2. Probably won't happen. Let's see, they beat the Panthers on the road 3. Probably lose against the Bucks. Let's see, they beat the Saints 4. And then beat the Colts 5. Yeah, that's all I got them for, worst case scenario, 5-12. 5 wins. I don't think they go 0 this season, but yeah, 5 wins, worst case scenario. Best case scenario for the Giants, 8-9. All right, moving on to the Dallas Cowboys. Man, oh man, is there a lot of talk about them this offseason. They really didn't do much this offseason, but a lot of players in contract disputes. Dak, Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. So it should be an interesting season for them, but let's go over their schedule. Best case scenario for the Cowboys. I mean, I think they're going to lose against the Browns, but let's say opening week. But let's say best case scenario here, they beat them. So 1 win, beat the Saints 2, lose against the Ravens, beat the Giants 3, beat the Steelers 4, lose against the Lions. Well, let's say best case scenario, so 5 if they beat the Lions, 5 wins. Lose against the Niners, beat the Falcons 6, lose against, let's say they beat the Eagles 7. See, Texans, I don't think they can beat, but let's say they win 8. Beat the Giants 9. Don't think they beat the Bengals. Beat the Panthers 10. Best case scenario, beat the Bucks, 11 wins. Lose against the Eagles, and then beat the Commanders 12. I mean, this is me being nice to the Cowboys. 12 wins, 12-5, but that is best case scenario for the Cowboys. Don't think that's going to happen, but it could be a bad tire fire of a season, and not like completely terrible, but let's look at worst case scenario for the Cowboys. So start off the season losing against the Browns, 1. So that's a loss. Beat the Saints, 1. Lose against the Ravens. Beat the Giants, 2. Lose against the Steelers. Lose against the Lions. Lose against the Cowboys. Beat the Falcons, 3. Beat the Eagles, 4. Lose against the Texans. Lose against the Commanders. Beat the Giants, 5. Lose against the Bengals. Beat the Panthers, 6. Beat the Bucks, 7. Lose against the Eagles. Beat the Commanders, 8. So it's still not terrible, but that would be a really bad season if the Cowboys go 8-9 on the season and not make the playoffs. It could definitely happen. I know a lot of people are having the Cowboys at 10 wins this year, around 10. I think they have the spread at like 9.5 wins for the Cowboys. So they could definitely hit that under with 8, but I don't see them doing any worse than 8 wins or 9 losses. So, best case scenario for the Cowboys, 12-5. Worst case, 8-9. So these are my predictions, guys, of the NFC East. Let me know what you guys agree with, don't agree with, and let me know your predictions in the comments. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the next division prediction video. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.